are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling out there, bro? Happy what is it? Monday. We starting the week off, bro. Y'all know what it is. Yeah, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on. And I see the chat is already active, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Everybody's ready to get into it. So, hey, let's not stand on ceremony, right? Let's get right into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome. Did I really want to know podcast, y'all? Get some indeed, man. Please, before I forget, hit that like, subscribe, share button, all that good stuff, man. Let people know what we're doing over here, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, I'm just checking the audio, everything. I just thought I'd jump on here real quick. This should not take that long, guys. What we about to talk about is what we finna talk about. Shouldn't take that long. We got brother Dino Dinosaurs in the building, man. You say, are the Bengals winning the Super Bowl this year? Hell no, man. We'll be luck, man. Not without Joe Burrow. We ain't. We are in for a long season. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback yesterday, bro. The Vikings beat us down. We ain't got beat like that in a long time, bro. So no. Short answer is no. We are not. Well, I'll take that back. If the Bengals go to the Super Bowl, they'll be buying tickets like everybody else, and that's my team. But without Joe Burrow, we in trouble, and we got. Man, Joe Burrow's gonna miss like 11 games, so it'd be 10 more games. So, and our coach is not the greatest, so bro, it's gonna be a long season for us. Long season. There's even rumors that Joe Burrow wants to trade. I don't know how serious, how true that rumor is, but it's probably true. 47-day campaign speech at the Kirk Memorial. Terrible. Did you hear it? No. I mean, I don't. You know, like Trump isn't the kind of guy you listen to in moments of tragedy to kind of, bring people together and uplift people. I know they were talking about it on Breaking Points. I mean, even dude came out like the tone of this particular memorial was supposed to be that of, the Christian faith and, forgiveness and stuff like that. And Trump straight came right out and said it. Like, I ain't forgiving nobody. I hate my enemies. Like, I'm probably wrong for saying this. Typical Trump stuff, bro. It is what it is. Dr. B in the building. What's good, fam? And he's like, yo. And the answer is yes. Women do demand too much, which is what we're going to be talking about today, man. We're going to kick off this week talking about what I know y'all really want to talk about, which is what's going on out here in this dating world, bro. And it's crazy. Like I've been out in the trenches here lately, and bro, I'm here to tell you, man, it's different. It's different out there, man. Say Jimmy Kimmel is back on tonight. We'll see. Like the Cowboys are disappointing as usual. Hey, bro, the Cowboys never fail to disappoint, bro. I mean, I've never really been a Cowboy fan. I mean, once when I was like too young to know what was going on. That's when I was growing up. Dallas and Pittsburgh were like the two top teams. You had it was you had Roger Staubach running that. You had the cat. You had so much going on with the Cowboys. As a kid, I had a cowboy backpack and, and all that kind of stuff. But I ain't know no better. I was like in fourth grade, I think I was. I think it was in the third grade, something like that, third or fourth grade. Anyway, the Cowboys are doing what the Cowboys do. But yeah, man, we definitely got to talk about it, bro. We got to get into this. Got a Michael Sartain video we definitely got to watch. Like American women, brother Dino, is saying American women demand too much, bro. Bro, I think they demand too much over there where y'all at too, bro. It's hard for me to say because I don't live over there, but when I talk to the brothers over there in UK, they kind of echo what's going on over here. Whenever I take a trip somewhere, if I go to UK, if I go, really anywhere in Europe, it's different for me because I'm different. I'm a different dude. Just being there, you're different. You're the new shiny thing. So I never have problems when I travel meeting women because they hear the accent. This is a black guy. Yo, it's a black guy over there. He's like, no. He's like, DL, American women demand too much. He's like, no, DL. no, DL. Like, I never have a problem when I go to UK and Europe or Asia for that matter, or Central or South America, because like I said, I'm the shiny new thing. They hear the accent. They want to sit down and talk. Plus, I have a little bit of game. I ain't gonna lie. I know what I'm doing. I can't say I have a little bit of game. My game is on point. I know what I'm doing. So I can use that to my advantage. But yeah, bro, over here in the States, bro, this is a newer phenomenon. And if you one of the dudes up there, like if you in the top 20, like if you're a part of that minority that women see, bro, is you good. You good. At least getting the initial conversation going, setting up the dates and all that, running the rotation. It ain't hard. They'll fall in line. It's just afterwards what might happen. You got to know what you're dealing with to avoid some of the craziness that's out here, man. But appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all jumping the comments in there. For all you people out there ninja watching, I appreciate y'all too. Welcome. You know what I mean? This is how we get down over here. I do apologize up front for not sticking to a regular schedule, but things are kind of not as bad as it was a few months ago, but things are still a little hectic on my end. So I'm doing the best I can to stay within some sort of frame when it comes to, jumping on. I might do 2 shows in one day. I might only do 1. I might skip a show, or I might skip a week. Depends on what's going on. But, that's where we are right now. Definitely haven't been talking about what's going on dating wise and, the sexual marketplace and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted to kick the week off with this particular show. Man, this video we're about to watch, man, we got to get right over into it. This is Michael Certain and his thing with Men of Action. He does his Access Vegas show where he brings a bunch of his female friends on, a bunch of girls that he knows personally. And then he brings a bunch of guys that he brings onto the show that he works with his group, Men of Action. And of course, he sat there with Rollo Tomasi, and they talk about these things with the women. And what I've noticed with Michael Certain, he's starting to get frustrated with these women. He's bringing them on for a reason. It's kind of to give you an alternative to the whatever podcast or the Fresh and Fit thing. So, you have women sat at the table and instead of, just letting them, how can I say this? Michael Certain is trying to give them the opportunity to say what they want and frame themselves how they want to frame it. Whereas whatever podcast, he's, that Brian guy's purposely trying to have certain women on the show so he can get those viral moments. And then with Fresh and Fit, the podcast who originated this format, they're just doing what they're doing. Like, you go on the Fresh and Fit podcast, what you put out is what you're going to get back. And, women sit there and they read the comments and they react to it and they get in their feelings and they get mad, and then they'll say something to Myron, and then Myron will blaze them and kick them off the show again. I haven't watched an After Hours on Fresh and Fit in forever, but they're still doing that thing. And now I believe it's all on Rumble. If you want to see those episodes on Fresh and Fit, you go to Rumble and see that there. They're not broadcasting the After Hours on YouTube anymore, or maybe they're doing it to where they only broadcast a little bit on YouTube and then they switch it all over to Rumble. So, that's what they're doing, but they are the originators. Don't get it twisted. They started this whole thing, this format of having women at the table. I miss the old days, man, years back when they would just have real conversations with real women. But now the only women that come onto that show seem to be women who are looking for a funnel to their OF page, or, they're just trying to really get money out of the dudes who watch Fresh and Fit. And they do get a lot of money, man. They get a lot of money. Brother Diana was saying Scandinavian women sleep with you first and then decide whether to date you. That's how they get down over here too as well, bro. That's a thing over here in the US, man. It really is. They date you first and then they're like, you know what? I think I like you. After you done blown the back out. Brother Pitney in the building was good. Good to see you, fam. Yes, please like the video. Please subscribe, all that good stuff. Send it to somebody who you think may get some value out of what we're talking about here today. But back to what we're talking about. Access Vegas, Michael Certain has his female friends at the table. He's sitting there with Rollo Tomasi, and they had these conversations. And I think that Mike is starting to get a little frustrated with some of the girls because a lot of these women, you know, it's just they don't really think about what's being said. They're not really good at having these kind of conversations because normally when you have an attractive woman out in the trenches and she's having a conversation, she's giving her opinion, the guys are going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you're right, yeah, because those dudes are trying to smash. When you come on Access Vegas or you go on whatever podcast or you go on the Fresh and Fit podcast or any of these platforms, most of those, you know, when you had these thoughts, you try to engage in conversation and people just looking at you like, you need to explain yourself. What do you mean? And there's so many, not just women in America, but it's a whole bunch of Americans, period. When you challenge their belief or you ask them to explain, hey, what exactly are you talking about? They can't do it. Americans can't do it, bro. Not the brightest bunch of folks over here in the U.S. They just can't do it. They can't articulate themselves. And then it's just, they get frustrated and a lot of them get mad. They'll clam up or they'll storm off or whatever. Some of them try to laugh it off and then they won't talk anymore. So you have to really kind of drag information out of them. It is what it is. I challenge folks in America, like, man, just broaden your horizons a little bit. Just learn how to have a conversation. Learn how to defend your talking points, right? Just learn how to do a little research. You got this phone, like instead of just sitting around looking at TikTok all day, maybe spend 5 minutes researching some history or listening to someone else, right? And just kind of read some stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. But let's get into it, man. They're going to be talking about, they're going to show this video of this young girl in her dating standards, man. So we're going to start with that. And then, you know, we'll go from there. So here we go.
Things I want in a man. Number 1, height. My man's got to be above 6'2". My last 2 boyfriends were 6'3". Both of them. And they were jacked. And they looked really good. How am I supposed to downgrade from that? So, unfortunately, my next man will have to be 6'2" and up.
Man, look at those crazy eyes, bro. Before we go anywhere, man. Before we go anywhere else, bro. Look at those crazy eyes. There they go right there. Crazy eyes. And this young woman right here, she doesn't have her makeup caked on, but this woman right here, I mean, she's not, you know, when you talk about attractiveness, bro, she's not a 10, right? This woman right here, bro, she says she's fit. So she's probably like really thin. I would probably throw her in the 7 range. You know, I would, because you guys know what I say over here, man, like on a scale of 0 to 10, because we use 0 over here, on a scale of 0 to 10, most of us fall between 4 and 6. So most of us fall between 4, 5, and 6 on the scale of 0 to 10. This young lady right here, I would say, all right, we could go ahead and throw her in that 7 range. I would throw in the 7 range. She's not wearing a ton of makeup. I like the fact that, you know, her real hair and all that kind of stuff. I'm not seeing any upgrades. We don't get to see much of her, but I believe her. She says she's in the gym, you know, minimum of 5 days a week. I believe she's really thin. That helps. You know what I mean? I don't know what the rest of her body looks like, but, you know, did you hear what she just said? I only date guys who are 6'3". Like my last 2 boyfriends were 6'3" and fit. Man, you know how hard it is to find that, especially in America. Your last 2 boyfriends, like, well, why did you stop messing with them? You had 2? That is extremely rare. What's going on? But she's probably around so many dudes who are tall, who are fit, gamed up, doing their thing, running through all of her friends, right? So she's just, in her mind, she's like, all men look like this. And now she's about to start talking about money. But I did want to pause, man. Look at them crazy eyes, bro. Crazy, crazy eyes. And she put this thing out with a whole bunch of confidence. She put this thing out, bro. And I'm pretty sure she regrets it now. I'm pretty sure her friends are clowning her like crazy. Let's continue.
Number 2, you can't have a gut. I need you built. I need you fit and going to the gym multiple times a week. I'm sorry, like, I'm just not going to date a fat guy. If I can be in the gym 5 days a week and be fit and care about how I look, you can do it. Number 3, he cannot have a salary cap. Whatever career he's in, he needs to have multiple streams of income, and we need to be able to make as much money as possible. That's why I will never date a guy who works in like corporate. What is your...
Did you hear that? She said, we need to make as much money as possible, which means she's taking all his bread, right? This is a young girl. This is a young girl. And it's a lot of women who think this way. Some women are wise enough to know that they're not going to be able to lock down that type of guy. They'll be lucky to even get that guy to look their way. But this young woman right here, I need a guy that's super fit. I need a guy that's making all his money. She said he can't have an income cap. I've never heard that before. Most women are just happy with the 6-figure thing. Well, he has to be making 6 figures. She's like, nah, that's not good enough. Like, you're only making $130,000 a year. No, I need you to make more because I plan to spend your money on lavishly. I want to spend all your money on me. This is the kind of stuff, fellas. If you're a young guy out here, you come across a woman like this, you leave her alone. Don't even try to smash. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. What she's going to take you through, bro, it's not worth it, fam. Move on. Just walk on by. You see her, woman like this, saying the things that she's saying, walk on by. Trust me.
Your 100K salary cap going to do for me? The max you'll ever be able to get to is like what, 150? Yeah, no, we're good. I need you in a career that is going to make us money. I am a lover of luxury. I like expensive things. I like expensive vacations. So will you if you're my man. So we need a career that can support that. Number 4, whenever we travel, he's got to be flying his business. I'm sorry, we're not staying in economy together. It's just not happening. Again, this is where the lack of salary cap is really going to help. And number 5, he's got to have a really nice watch. I'm not really impressed when I hear somebody has a Rolex anymore because those can be really cheap. I would much prefer if you had an AP or a Patek and maybe multiple of them. The Rolex can be your day watch and it still better be 50K plus.
And little shorty is definitely a side piece. No dude is going to tolerate that. No dude, especially a guy who has options, is never going to tolerate that. Like when you got a young girl like that, bro, saying what she's saying, that's something to have fun with. To the point where she knows watches, like she knows timepieces. You have to have multiple Pateks, 8, bro. A Rolex isn't good enough, right? And like, and if you get a Rolex, it has to be $50,000. Word. Like she is crazy, bro. Like, I mean, bro, listen. And the thing is, if I came across that young girl and she starts talking timepieces, hey, I will ask her questions like, well, what other timepieces are you familiar with? And she's probably not familiar with everything she named from social media. Guys going out with the watches showing or whatever, talking about. That's what she doesn't know about IWC, and she's not gonna sit down and talk to you about Breitling or Omega or she's not gonna talk about Tudor. She's not gonna talk about any of these other brands. She's not gonna know, timepieces, right? So, bro, yeah, getting a Rolex is hard, bro. Getting a Rolex is not an easy task. I mean, you can buy one on the gray market, but like getting yourself to a point where your jeweler sells you a Rolex, or you can walk into a Rolex store anywhere on the globe and just walk out of there with a Rolex. That is, and I'm talking about not the entry level joints. I'm talking about like a proper piece. Yeah, you're right about that, man. It's hard. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she doesn't know about Breitling, who has watches that can top 10K easily. And yeah, Breitling does have that. Breitling has a Snoopy Speedmaster, I think it is, that's like 30 to 50 grand. I think it's been a while since I looked at them, but man, like Breitling has some high end pieces. Breitling, I'm sorry, I just named an Omega. But Breitling, the Super Ocean, they have some Super Oceans out there that are like really up there, north of 10K. So, I mean, it depends. Yeah, like they got more than a few. They got some nice timepieces out there. Breitling, Omega, IWC, like the big Pilot is. If you can get your hands on one, wow, that's a nice timepiece. I mean, it's so many, man. It's just Cartier. Like you get yourself a Tank. I mean, there's so many different watches out there. So many different timepieces out there that are like really expensive. Really nice. Like if you're into that, man, really nice. And could come in handy in the pinch, bro. Right. That's what she meant. That's probably what she was thinking. She wanted to say an RM. Like that's what she exactly, bro. So yeah. So let's listen to what the round table has to say about Shorty, bro. Brace yourself for this, fellas. Brace yourself.
your day watch. Go ahead, ladies. Is that your day watch? Is that your day watch? Is that your day watch? That's my day watch.
I apologize to you, ladies, for the cheap Rolex.
I really like.
I was gonna say, notice how she didn't have like an age restriction on that. So,
Yeah.
Anybody have any thoughts about that?
I just really like her.
Word of age restriction, she's not gonna mess with some old dude. She's talking about 6-pack abs and dudes, young abs who are making tons of money. Remember, this is a young girl, right? She has about what, maybe 8 to 12 years max. She's gonna start to realize that her sexual market value is already declining. She's gonna realize that girl couldn't have been more than 22, 23 years old. By the time she hits 28, she'll be talking like these girls sitting here talking around the table. That's what she's not gonna be trying to holler at some old dude. Not now. Maybe, when she hits 30.
I hope
I'm
serious.
just like, 30, then turn 35, then turn 40, and good luck.
Where's
Good
the
luck.
video of her saying all the great things she has going?
No,
Yeah.
where's the video of her talking about her 2 6'3" boyfriends who dumped her?
Yeah.
How about that?
What about being like a good guy?
No, that's that.
Well, they're
About that.
sensationalizing
Being
it. They're
compatible.
sensationalizing it. And at what point is it not?
Being good in bed?
so
Why
let-
is that never
let-
on?
let me ask you guys a
If
question.
fans spoke about a woman like that, and then if I were on TikTok, it would be a f***ing disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
No, it wouldn't.
misandry's become such a f***ing epidemic. I was saying to you earlier, it's like I know so many women that are like, I f***ing hate men. I'm friends with these women. Men are the worst. I'm like, you're married. You have a boyfriend. And like, if the men I knew spoke about women like this, the men I'm friends with, it would be we wouldn't hear it. You know, it's bizarre how casual and flippant we are about that now.
Do you guys see how, just try for a second to be an average guy and then listen to that and then just think how terrifying that is?
I mean, there are a lot of dudes out there in the mental swamp that will hear that in real life. They'll hear some woman come, she's half drunk on, vodkas and Chardonnay or whatever, and she'll start talking crazy like this. And the guys take it to heart. Don't, fellas, don't let some young girl, that's who that was. That's just some young girl talking mad crazy. Don't let her get under your skin at all, bro. It's just a matter of time. Like right now, she's taking full advantage of the fact that she's peaking. Her sexual market value will never be higher than it is at this current moment. At the time she made that video, her value will never be higher than that. And she doesn't know that. She doesn't realize that. She's going to talk down. There's a lot of women want to talk down to dudes. That happens all the time. It is what it is. Don't get mad. Don't take it to heart. Just move on to the next one. Just keep going. Keep doing you. But there's so many guys get mad, bro. They'll ask a girl for her information, get mad. She didn't give me her phone number and start calling her, names and this and that. Like, bro, for real? Where'd this come from? Man, don't you understand it's a numbers game? Why are you asking for her number anyway? Get her social media. She'll get that to you. She'll get that to you because she wants another follower. And if you really got game, you'll be able to, work with that. But these dudes, man, y'all got to stop being so fragile, man. Stop being so fragile. We got Mandrell in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you, brother. Stop being so fragile, guys. If some woman isn't interested in you, whatever, that's fine. Understand, she's peaking. You still got maybe a little bit of work to do. You won't peak until later. And when you do peak, little Shorty's going to be right there trying to holler at you. And then you can walk on by, like I said. You can just leave her alone. If she's like, how come you won't talk to me? Show her that video. This is why. Show her that video with them crazy eyes, with all that crazy stuff that she was demanding. This is why. And she's like, oh, I was just a kid. I didn't know what I was talking about. Oh, that's fine. And at that choice, at that moment, you got a choice. You want to go take her somewhere and blow her back out? Go ahead. You can at that point. But understand, that's not the woman that you're going to want to be with forever. And understand that she's been with a bunch of dudes, man. And if you a top tier guy or a high value guy, your crew is going to know her. Somebody in your crew done ran through her. So that's a thing too. So don't take it to heart, guys. Don't let these young women out here, these young girls start talking madness and that affects you somehow. Just keep your head down, keep working, keep doing what you're doing.
like how like to the point where you feel derision, like you feel hatred, like you'd feel actually like completely ignored. Now 6'2", so 6 feet tall, it's 17% of the population. 6'2", I believe it's 6'3" is 1%. So it's 3% of the population, I think, is 6'2" or taller. And then as far as being jacked, so let's just say a six pack, I believe. What is it? 12% of men in the United States are millionaires, and 8% of men have a six pack.
Abs.
So it's more likely for you to be a millionaire than for you to have a six pack. So it's 0.08 times times 0.03. Somebody do the math on that. That's the percentage of men that she has to choose from. Notice she had 2 previous boyfriends. Neither of them seemed to lock her down. I wonder what's going on there. She's living in just absolute delusion, and you have a hard time understanding statistics. They have a very difficult time. If you were to explain this to her, she wouldn't have any concept of it. It's like, no, I get guys like this all the time, but they won't. Remember what I said before?
Look, she's crazy.
Your
Like,
market value is not determined.
She's actually crazy.
Your market value is not determined by how many men you can sleep with. It's by the highest status men that will commit to you. And she has no high status men who's committed to her, but she has slept with men who were 6'3". Congratulations, honey. Like that's what she's expressed to us.
She's literally the definition of that one song. I'm looking for a man in finance. Yeah, I think someone did the math on that, by the way. I think there's like one man.
There was 17 men in
17.
That because they had to be single. So you guys understand 70% of the US population now is overweight. Do you guys understand that? When she's talking about not having a gut?
The pig, like the
Yeah. It's the average American is fatter than the average American pig.
Yeah.
It's like it's the average American man is like 28% body fat, and the average American woman 40% body fat.
Yes.
Not at this table.
Yes,
Huh?
I'm not at
Michigan.
No,
San Antonio.
When you're in the airport next time, look around. You'll be like, there's nothing but obesity. It's madness.
Especially
Listen. Obesity is one thing, but the men that are a little fluffy, you gotta give them some love. They look snuggly. They're
Little shorty out here talking. Gotta give him some love. This is the one that's talking. The blonde is talking now. This is an attractive woman who's gotten a little bit older, and she realizes that her reach, when it comes to men, she's realizing that her sexual market value has gone down a little bit. She gets it. Now she wants to say what she needs to say so she can get a whole bunch of simpletons to jump into her DMs and give her that free validation. Like it is what it is. Right. And Brother Pitney, you're right, man. This fragile masculinity, man. There's a lot of dudes out here that are really, really fragile, man. Like some people say it's because today's man is soft, way more so than when I grew up or the generations before me. Some will try to blame women. They'll say, well, these dudes are soft because they're raised to be feminine. I don't know exactly what it is. I put it on everyone gets a trophy. I think the guys get upset when they fail because growing up, they're like, well, everyone gets a trophy, so I should get what I want because I've always gotten what I want. My parents always gave me what I want. My parents took care of all the problems. I never had to deal with any problems. Then they find themselves grown and in the real world, and they realize that, you know what, there are losers. There are winners and there are losers, and they realize looking into the mirror like, I'm a loser, and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to work hard to better themselves to become a winner. Like, they just sit there, they're cool with it. Like, where's my trophy? Where's my baddie? I said, I'm supposed to have a dime. I'm supposed to have that dime right there. Where's my dime? You don't get one, homie. But, and you're right, Brother Pitt. That's what it is, man. Like the probability of having multiple things together at the same time is less than having them individually. Yeah, bro. It's like, so if a girl wants a 6 foot plus guy who makes 6 figures a year, it's gonna be hard to find, almost impossible. And I take that back. It's not gonna be hard to find for women if they know where to go. If there are women who know where to find these dudes, the thing is, it's gonna be virtually impossible to lock them down. Like these dudes will blow your back out, ladies. You find out, they're in the big cities, right? They're in L.A., New York, San Francisco, San Diego, Vegas, Miami, Dallas, right? Salt Lake City got some, Denver, right? They're Miami, DC, Atlanta, Philly. They're in the bigger cities. Here in Tampa. There's some big money guys here in Tampa, right? The thing is, ladies, you can find these dudes, and if you cute enough, he gonna smash. And if you ain't down with the program, he's going to walk away. So you have women who are just, they're just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to let him get this because I got the best Foxy Brown ever. And then she realizes quickly that to that guy, it's all the same. So, yeah, ladies, you can find the dude. He's rare. You can find him. He's just going to dig it out. And if you let him smash, he'll keep you on the rotation until he's tired of you, move on. If you don't let him smash, he's going to move on. Either way. You know what I mean? So it just crazy. She's like, and keep him. Yeah, don't check. Yeah. And ladies, those guys get to choose who they want to choose. They can be with who they want to be with. They have all the leverage. They have all the options. So it is what it is. And not all women do it. Not all women chase after these guys. But if a woman gets a shot, she's going to take her shot with these top tier dudes. And it's going to boil down to, hey, he's going to want to smash. And if she says no, he's going to move on. If she says yes, he's going to smash a few times. And then he's going to move on. That's just how it works. Ladies, you got to learn how to add value.
They're nice. I don't understand the fluffy hate.
You've seen
Stop
my
it, Lola. Stop it, Lola.
That's all it is. Yeah.
The song is gonna be stuck in my head. Yeah.
Also, if you're being strategic,
Because then you got to fight off all these other for it, right?
That's what
get
the
him in
extra
the
cup of
top
rice is
initially,
for.
get him to be successful, and then bake for him all the time nonstop.
Get a man who's super
And lingerie, there we go.
intimidated, has low self-esteem, and a lot of money, and just manipulate him to the end.
Hilarious.
See what it was.
Hilarious, but true. Hilarious, but true. Women are looking for those dudes. If you're a guy that has, I'm gonna talk about this more tomorrow, but I'm gonna bring it up today. Tomorrow we're gonna really delve into it. But we all are familiar with the term high value man. Kevin Samuels, he coined that phrase. I believe it was him, but he breaks down the tenets, or the like, what do you need, the check boxes, the boxes you need to check to be a high value man. I also throw to that top tier men. So, you guys might be saying, like, what's a top tier man? To me, a top tier guy is a guy who is highly sought after by women, but does not check all of the boxes to be considered a high value man. Right? So that's the way I do it. I look at it, okay, get your top tier guy, get your high value guy up here, get your top tier guy down here. So if there's 4 or 5 boxes you need to check to be a high value man, the top tier guy might check 2 or 3 of those boxes at any given time. He might not have all of them checked at the same time, maybe 4, maybe 3. So on a bad year, maybe just 1. But he has game, and women are able to see him. Like, women find him attractive, right? He's in an environment where he's seen by women. He has women, you know what I mean? That's where your Pookies and Ray Rays, your Tyrones and your Chads or whatever, you know what I mean? Those are the guys who are highly sought after by women. They're in the circles, but they're not technically the high value guys. We're going to be talking about that more tomorrow, right? Definitely going to be talking about that more tomorrow. I want to bring this up. Stay Slick with Kit has a video out here as well. I want to bring this up for you guys, and then we'll wrap this up. This show was going to be a pretty quick one. I just wanted to jump on here because if I didn't, right, it's like you want to make this habit. If you don't make it a habit, it becomes harder and harder to jump on. Busy reading other things, you guys know. I'm actually working on a book, and I'm doing some other things as well. We got some stuff behind the scenes that's going on that kind of keeps me busy. So I'm like, bro, if I don't make this habit, like actually jumping on and do this, make it habit, form this habit now, it's just easy to not do it. So that's why I wanted to jump on here. Plus I want to see how y'all doing, man. How the weekend went, like what y'all up to. You know what I mean? I love it when I get a chance to holler at y'all, man. So we're about to watch this video from Stay Slick with Kit. You guys know this is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's out of UK, out of London, I believe. And he's having a conversation with a young lady. The boss babe life is making women miserable. And I agree with that. right? That's 100% facts. Why? Because the boss babe, she is making herself taller, metaphorically speaking, than her potential mate. And you know, like hypergamy dictates that women, they're going to want a guy on their level or higher. So if she's out here making 80, 90, $100,000 a year, she's going to want her, you know, what women call partner. She's going to want her partner to earn the same, which, you know, you guys know I don't like that term. You call me partner, I'm going to blow your back out and send you on your way. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not going to be my partner. You could be my wife, my significant other. I can think of a whole bunch of other terms to use before I use partner. But anyway, these women are out here looking for these guys that are on their level or higher. And if you're, again, 6 figures in America, I think it's gone up. I think 20% of Americans earn 6 figures or more now. It was like 14, 15% a couple of years ago, but I think now it's about 20%. But still, that means 80% of the available bachelors out there, you're not even going to look at simply because they don't earn enough money. That's a problem. And that's going to lead these boss babes to being miserable because they're not going to be able to get the guys that they want, the guys that they believe or feel they should have. And it's got to be a horrible feeling. So let's check this out. Let's see what they're talking about. I have not watched this, by the way. So, you know, we'll watch this together. Here we go.
What do you think is the hardest thing about dating today for, you know, a lot of women?
I think women, the career thing that we talked about, okay?
Yes.
So like a lot of women are very career focused in like whatever that is that they're choosing to be in.
Yeah.
I've been in situations as well where men feel emasculated if they're not doing as well as you in terms of like whether that's money or if they feel like you're doing better in what you're doing than them, and that causes issues then in the relationship.
Okay, so what have men said that make that, or what have you heard that makes you go, oh, it's because of, you know, how well I'm doing as a woman?
I've literally had someone say to me that it was like, so they were in a situation where I was making a lot more money than them. I was in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
It was kind of their choice because they opted to go and take a different career path. Obviously, I had to take a bit of a cut. But in return, it was I was supposed to accept not going on dates, not going on holidays, not doing all these things. To which I said yes to no dates. Perfectly happy to do that. But I said I want to go on holidays, and I was like, if I'm going to say that I'm going to pay for the holidays, you can't really tell me that we're not going to do that, because I said I can go on holidays with the girls and I can do all that, but you're not going to like that either. So it's like you have to compromise here. I'll do the no dates, but there has to be a little bit of, you know.
I hear that. So
wow. Okay. First of all, little shorty's fine. First of all, let's get that because, you know, Kit will have some women on here, and I like the fact that he just brings regular women on his podcast. But this one right here, little shorty,
Holla, 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 holla.
she's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. You know what I mean? Like if I saw her walking down, like not walking down the street, I don't really cold approach anymore. It's rare that I cold approach. But if I were in a lounge somewhere or at a bar somewhere, just kind of kicking it, and I saw her and we made eye contact, I would definitely try to, you know what I mean? I'd definitely try to.
Holla, 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 holla.
She's kind of cute. Now, she's over in UK, so UK has the same problem with obesity as America does, but she looks nice. I mean, just sitting there right there, her hair's done nice. Nothing crazy, has makeup on, but nothing too crazy. A lot of earrings, got tattoos. You know, ladies, I'm telling you, guys, the guys that you guys want, like the top tier dudes, the high value dudes, you know, the dudes that got something going on, like they're moving in the right direction. They notice that. They notice the tattoos. They notice the piercings. That's something that they're looking at. Her tattoos seem to be on her arm, forearms. You know, she's probably got more. Lower back's probably tatted. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. But anyway, she's talking about how she was with a guy. And did y'all peep the part? It was like, well, he made a career choice. He went down a career path that paid less. And she continued on where she was. So it sounds to me like she met the dude while they were both making some pretty good money. And the guy decided to go do something over here that's going to pay less, but they stayed together. It's really difficult to dictate terms in a relationship with a woman who isn't all the way into you, first of all. That's the most important thing. If she's not into you, bro, It doesn't matter. And then you add to that, you don't make as much as she does. So first of all, she's not really into you like that. She's like, you're a dude. I'm kind of kicking it with you, whatever. All right, I don't want to date. I'm not trying to get my back blown out and get my body count up. So cool, no dating. But she still wants her options open to do whatever she wants. Like, well, I'm take a holiday. It's going to take a vacation. I'm going on vacation. And if I'm paying for it, you can't tell me nothing. And the guy's kind of sitting there like, she won't listen to me. She's taking these vacations with her friends. If I go with her, I have no saying where we go. Like, yeah, bro, that's how it works. That's how it works. This is why you want a woman that's into you. If she's into you, it doesn't matter how much money she's making. If she's into you, she's going to want you with her. If that means she has to pay for you to come along, she's going to want you to come along. And if you say, no, I don't want to go because I don't like the country you're going to, I don't want to go to that country, you go, she'll be like, all right, let's switch it. What country do you like? She'll take you where you want to go if she's really into you. This is why you got to get women who are into you, fellas. You have to get women who are into you, man. That's the bottom line, period. You have to be the person who is willing to walk away from a relationship, right? We keep saying that over and over again, but it's true. And if you're not in that position, you need to recognize that right off rip. All right, I'm not making as much as she wants. All right, I see she's keeping me around for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I'm handsome. Maybe it's because I'm fit. Maybe it's because I'm nice, I'm friendly. Maybe because I can, you know what I mean? I can bust it down the way she likes it. Whatever reasons, like she's staying here, but just understand you ain't running nothing. So, don't allow yourself to fall for this woman because she has the upper hand. And when it's time for her to go, she's gonna leave, and you're gonna be stuck on stupid. So you need to stay equally yoked with her. She's keeping you around for whatever reason, but she's not really into you. So she's either at your level or above you because she can walk away at any moment. You need to understand that and just enjoy it for what it is. All right, cool. We're just going to do our thing. She said she ain't going to date. I wouldn't even bring that stuff up. I wouldn't even care what you're doing. Like, I don't even care about dating and being exclusive. I'm not doing any of that because I already know you need a man that's going to make more than you. So I'm not that dude. And you've already told me that that's a problem by the way she's acting. Right? You got to accept that, guys. If you're dealing with this situation, accept it for what it is. I would just cut it off. Like, well, look, let's just be cool. Friends with benefits kind of thing. And let's just do that. And a lot of guys are like, but I really want her. Then you're going to have to make more money, fam, because she ain't into you like that. And even if you do make the more money, she's still not into you like that. What are you going to do down the road? You went out doing doing this stuff. You're in a field now that you don't like. You're in it simply to make money for her. And then she winds up leaving you for another dude. And then you find out that dude makes less than you were making even before. You're going to be mad, bro. And that's your fault. So I just want to throw all that out there, fellas. If you're dealing with a woman and she comes at you because financially you ain't there. All right, cool. Just understand and accept that fact, bro. That means she's not into you for you. If money is that much of an issue, she's not into you for you. So if you get yourself hurt in the situation, it's your fault, not hers.
I hear that. So if you were earning more, why wouldn't you pay for him?
That's what I was saying I would, but I was being told that's emasculating. And we actually
He said that to you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And we actually did. We went on 2 holidays, but both holidays he kind of had attitude at me and ruined both the holidays.
Why did he have an attitude?
Because it was like self-sabotage because he didn't want to be there because he feels emasculated.
And he said to you, I feel emasculated because you pay for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I also I have a lot of friends that have they work in very high powered jobs. I have a friend that works in law. I have a friend that works in asset management.
Male friends.
They also have similar issues or have had similar issues in the past because men feel very threatened by them and what they do.
Female friends. Okay, so she was saying she got other female friends out here making money. Hey, guys, that's another thing too, man. Birds of a feather flock together. You're dealing with a woman who's making big money. Her friends probably making big money. You're dealing with a chicken head. Her friends are probably chicken heads. Stuff like that, man. If you're dealing with one of the women who go to Dubai to do that human porta potty thing, then her friends are probably doing that too. So that's something. This guy did not like the fact that his woman was paying for him. Okay. He shouldn't be in that relationship. And don't blame it on her. That's some, you know what I'm saying? That's some beta behavior right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You You telling her she the problem because of her career choices, and she wants you to come on this trip. She's paying for you to come on the trip. But what it probably is, there's probably some resentment on her part. Like, I can't believe I got to pay for this. Dude, I had to pay for his airfare. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going to be flying coach. She's going to be flying business. Like, however she's flying, he's flying. You know, he's not going to be able to stay at the Econo Lounge, you know, like the Hotel 8 or whatever, or Holiday Inn, while she's staying at, you know, the W or, you know, the Mondrian, or, you know what I mean? She's staying at the Hilton or the Hyatt. He's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might be a little bit of that. And there's dudes out there trying to get at her. So there are dudes out there who are making more money trying to gun at her. And she's just kind of like, nah, you just a player. I'm going to stick with my hubby over here, my broke man. That's just terrible, man. Fellas, don't blame your woman, or any woman for that matter, for being successful. If she's successful and you got her, great. If you're not making as much as she's making, fine. But don't try to hold that against her, man. Don't try to make her feel. I mean, of course, we're only hearing one side of this. We're only hearing one side of it. But I've seen a lot of dudes who have a problem with that, for real.
Hear you. I'm going to keep it real with you, okay? I think there's a very small percentage of men who can feel quite insecure. But for the majority, it's really not that. I think the reality is, whether women realize it or not, if you are providing for a man, you don't respect him the same way as if he was providing for you. You don't respect him as much as the man in the relationship, because you feel like you're taking on a burden that you feel ultimately you want him to take on for you. Understand that. The disrespect that comes with that, or the lack of respect that comes with that, men feel it. And the biggest way that men feel love is appreciation and respect. So then this is where some guys can get abusive, right? Because they go, well, if you're not going to respect me through love, you're going to respect me through fear. Right?
Bars.
So a lot of the time, the emasculation isn't because of the money aspect. The money is just a number. It's actually because she doesn't respect him, and he can feel that because maybe she's providing more in that area of the relationship. And men don't take well to a lack of respect in a relationship, especially if it started one way. Like if it started where, you know, it was kind of more equal, or he was doing fine, he took a career shift, right? So you're gonna take a pay cut, that's normal, right? But it would have started where he felt you looking up to him, thinking he's amazing, having level of respect for him. And then as you stepped more into that role, the respect you would have had for him, it's even little things, the way you look at him, the way you speak to him, maybe even trying to tell him what to do. Because you're thinking, well, if I'm providing, right, I'm going to tell you what to do. But he's like, nah, that's not going to run. And that's what men feel.
I hear what you're saying, and I do understand like that. But say this situation that I'm talking about with my ex, I really don't feel like I did any of that, and I felt like I was being supportive in terms of like he was like quite accomplished in what he was already doing, and he wanted to start something new, and obviously there's that transition period, and I felt like I was being understanding of that and trying to support him through that. And I feel like that's where, I don't know if men see sometimes like the effort you're doing in that regard for them. Like,
she has some beautiful eyes. Yo, Kit, who is that, bro? I'm just playing. I'm too old for her. I'm just playing. I'm too old to be serious with her. But, you know, she want to come to the States and have a nice dinner. It is what it is. But, man, she got some beautiful eyes. What she is talking about is real. There are a lot of women who will be in a situation where they're making more than their guy. Again, they probably came in equally yoked. Maybe he was making a little bit more, and then these women surpass him. They kind of leapfrog the guy. And the ladies, you know, the women in these situations, like, well, no, I'm still supporting him. I'm very supportive. Women don't understand that dudes can sense there is a lack of respect there. They can sense that the woman is a little bit disappointed financially when the guy can't do certain things. So when she goes out, and let's say she closes a big deal, you know, like at work, like, oh, we had this contract, we closed this contract, you know, we got this bonus money. She goes out and buys herself some really nice shoes, like some Louboutins, or, you know what I mean? Or she goes and gets herself a nice bag. You know what I mean? She might go get herself a Kelly, you know what I mean? Come back with Hermes with the big box and everything. Or she might go out and get herself some really nice jewelry. Like, I'm gonna get some Van Cleef jewelry or something like that. She get something nice. She's gonna come back and be like, "Oh, we closed the deal. Hooray! Got this big bonus, and I went out and I treated myself to this." The guy's gonna, most dudes, I'm gonna say most, but there are a lot of dudes who will absolutely feel a certain way that he couldn't go out and get her something nice. He can't even afford to take her out to a nice restaurant to celebrate. Right? That's the thing. And she's like, well, I'm trying to. So what's she supposed to do? She's supposed to, hide her success. She's supposed to not go out and buy these things or buy the things and keep them away from you. Right? So it's like this back and forth. And a lot of that, I'll put 70% of it on the dude. 70 to 80%, I'll put it on the dude. But, it takes a certain type of guy with a certain type of game to be able to accept it. Like, it's like, I know guys will be like, man, it don't bother me at all. I know some other dudes that will break up with a woman if she's making more than he is or is more successful. He'll just break up. He won't even like self-sabotage. He'll just end it. And she'll be stuck on stupid. Like, why did you just end it? Like, I can't handle this. She's like, I don't care. I won't take the promotion. I'll go get my other job back. I just don't want to lose it. I've seen that. But I've also seen women who will take that promotion and that new money and rub it in the face of the dude and be talking mad crazy to the dude. I've seen that. Now, again, don't know this woman from Eve, don't know who she is. She doesn't strike me as the type of person who would do that, but she might. She might. The way people present on camera to the world is completely different than the way that they present when the cameras are off and they're in the trenches. So who knows?
As in, like, I wasn't putting pressure on him to go on dates and things like that, for example. So I'm like being like, okay, like we've been together for like 4 years now. So like, are the dates really, like, obviously they're important, but like we can just watch a film on a Friday night. You know what I mean? Like, and I wasn't making him feel a type of way, I don't think. Like, and he still had his own priorities. Like, he still had money to pay for his car every month. Like, he had a nice car. Yeah. Still had money to pay for his fancy gym membership every month. You know what I mean? I'm not complaining about him doing them.
How did that make
you
feel?
Himself. They're like, that was his priorities. But then it was my response, actually, honestly, in that situation was then, you've made your priorities like known and clear. So I just focus more on myself. Mm-hmm. And that's what, again, men don't like that, I feel like.
What did that look like when you decided, okay, cool, I'm going to focus more on myself because you felt he wasn't prioritizing you?
Yeah, I was pouring more into my work. Mm-hmm. And I felt he'd been asking me to do that. So, for example, like this relationship I got with this guy when I was 22. Mm-hmm. So this was happening around when I was like 26. So we've been together for quite a while. Mm. And yeah, I just started pouring more into. He'd been asking me. So obviously, when I got with him when I was 22, I was obviously younger. Wanted more of his time. Like back then I can recognize I was definitely more demanding of his time and different things. Sure. But then when I understand and where I came to that understanding of, okay, he's trying to like build, and I felt like I was trying to be supportive of that. And I started like, I was teaching at the time, and then I was also building my business. So I started trying to pour more just into my business and focus more on that while he was doing his thing. But I felt like that then in turn, he was asking me to do that as well, to focus less on him. But then when I did it, I don't feel like he liked it.
So like, how did that, what was it that he didn't like?
Just that I wasn't maybe looking for his attention then as much. Because
he wasn't like a priority.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, Leah. Do you know what I think happened? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And I completely understand. Mm-hmm. He takes a shift, and you still see him paying for his nice car, his membership, whatever it is. And you're like, why are we going on a date? I know that a date costs less than your car monthly. So you're right to be frustrated.
That honestly, I honestly was at a point where that wasn't an issue.
Okay, fair enough.
But
I think you felt that you weren't being prioritized.
There was an element, obviously, always in that relationship where I felt like I wasn't being prioritized because there was also his mum. So this is also a massive issue.
I don't know what she's about to get into, but with the whole date thing, Her money started coming in. All right, she was younger. He's definitely older. I guarantee this guy's older. She was younger. He went and found himself a dime. Just think about it, like she's older now. So imagine what she was looking like back then. He found himself a dime. She was just kind of out there needing some guidance, needing, you know what I mean, some direction. And he was probably that for her. And she was probably needy, like most young girls are, wanting to be around, wanting to be on the scene, want to be in that nice car with him, right? Want to be around his social group. So she leveled up being with this guy. And he's telling her stuff like, you know, he probably was encouraging her. Like, look, I know you're a teacher now. Do your teaching thing, but you know, what's your passion? What are you trying to do? Well, I want to start this business doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, fine. I'll help you. And I guarantee you dude probably help to get that business off the ground too. If anything, just being there to give her that support, just kind of being there to guide her and counsel her through that sort of stuff, right? I mean, people pay big money to have somebody consult for them. So you got someone older helping this young girl, boom, she's doing that, bam, her business takes off. Now years have done passed, you know, and she's like, all right, cool, I ain't tripping about the dates and going out because she got it. Right? She's like, I just want to be at home chilling with you. And he's, he's doing his thing, but she's not running up under him anymore. Like she's moved on. Like she's doing good. She's doing what she's supposed to do. And now you got these two people who are growing. See, here's the thing: when you get into relationships, you want to find that relationship. We've talked about this before. You want to find that relationship that's right here. Like you guys are pretty much paralleling. You stay right here and you just continue that way. Some relationships, man, they meet and then right away they just kind of drift apart right off rip. It just doesn't work. Even though they try to force it to work, it just doesn't work. Some relationship looks like they're going parallel, but actually the vectors are going to have them cross and then they're just going to move on past each other, right? I think that this relationship was not the parallel one. This was probably the one that looked like it was parallel, but then they kind of crossed. Their vectors just kind of took them, opposite ways and it's over. That's what I think was going on here because she clearly started making bread. It's not affecting what she's doing, right? Who knows what was going on? Like, was she staying with him for free while she was building her business? Not only is she getting the free advice, but she doesn't have to pay for nothing. Like he's, taking care of everything. That's what men do. Now it's like, okay, he ain't making as much money. I got all his bread. I'm all established. Is she taking care of stuff? Or is her idea of taking care of things is I'll pay for vacations and, maybe I'll bring some groceries every now and then. And now they're about to, just talk about the family. So they were together long enough. Like, bro, marriage, normally that's what normally happens. You meet someone young like that, y'all start building, things start going well. The next step normally is, okay, let's tie the knot. Now, again, if you're in a situation where she makes more than you, she's doing better than you here in America, and she wants to get married, okay. She's doing better. She's bringing in the bread. Go ahead and get married. She has more to lose, then why not? I don't know how it works in UK. But if you're over here and she has more and she wants to get married, then by all means get married. But if you're the one that has all the value, you have the homes, you have the financial portfolio, you bringing in the money, and you talking about getting married to a woman in America, at a very minimum, get a prenup. Absolute bare minimum, get a prenup. But actually, I would look at different structure. Like, how you going to go find a professional accountant and work with your lawyer to figure out how to structure all your stuff so it can't be touched if this marriage doesn't work. Do it that way, right? There has to be a legal way to do it to where you structure everything so you can minimize your exposure by getting married. Because we know that, 70% of the time, the divorces are filed. 70 to 80% of the time now, divorces are filed by women. And in America, now you're looking at alimony and possible child support, depending on your situation. So it depends on how much stuff you have to lose, man. People like to say, hey, you're going to lose half. Anyway, let's continue.
I think in dating, I think I worked in an all boys school as well, and I could see this a lot. So there's been a generation of basically obviously not just boys as well, boys and girls, but with no dads around, and a lot of single mums. And the issue there is the sons a lot of the time are made feel like they're the man of the house, and the mum doesn't end up getting another partner. So there's like all this responsibility put on the son to be the man of the house and all of that stuff. And in the situation that I'm talking about, he was an only child, and that was very much the situation. So there was a lot of responsibility there on him, and it was also like we'd been together for a long time, and it was like I feel like there was guilt and pressure that he couldn't move to the next stage with me because there was still responsibilities at home. But also I do feel like he wasn't ready as well.
Ready for what?
Like that next step with me, like moving in with me and doing all of that stuff. So that was a point of contention in our relationship, and I do think that was also another reason.
So you felt like he was kind of playing the man in his mum's life.
Yeah,
and that was preventing him from playing the man in your life.
100%.
Wow, I just assumed that they were living together, so they weren't even living together. So she was taking care of all of her stuff financially. He was taking care of all of his stuff financially. I guess when they went out, maybe he was paying for everything initially. Man, she might have been the one to try to holler at. She might have been the one to try to keep. It sounded like she was trying to do her part. Again, we're only hearing one side of this. Man, she wasted a lot of time with this dude. So, I mean, I guarantee you, she might not be in a relationship right now, but I guarantee you she's got some dude that she with. She's probably got a few guys. She's probably running a rotation. She seems very level-headed, business savvy, all that good stuff. She's already making money. And it's expensive to live in London, guys. So it's living in London is like living in New York, LA, San Francisco, something like that. London might even be more expensive, to be honest with you. Last time I was over there, bro, I was shocked by the price. Like just the hotel. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, this is for the size of the hotel room versus what we were paying per night. I was like, bro, you get twice as much in the U.S., like square footage wise. But everything else was great. The amenities were there. The rest of the stuff was great. But I'm like, damn, this is expensive. And everyone was telling me, like, just the day-to-day in London is pricey. So for her to be doing well, that really means something. Yo, shorty, come to the U.S. You could take care of Uncle Saint.
Did you have that conversation with him?
Yes, multiple times.
What did he say?
To a degree, could recognize it, but there was a lot of, I would say, emotional manipulation there. So I feel like it was so
from him or his mum. His mum.
But I feel like it was very ingrained, I think, from a very young age, and I could see a lot of that. And I witnessed this a lot when I was teaching in school, because I taught all boys, and I seen this situation happen and unfold kind of before my eyes a lot. I think it's quite common.
Yeah, it's almost like the mum. It's almost like the mum gets to a relationship with their son.
Yeah. No, it is.
And so when another woman comes, she's like, "Who the hell is this woman?"
Yeah, that's very much what happened.
Yeah, but then that's unfortunately, she should be able to recognize, no, my son's a man. He used to live his own life, build his own world, but also, and this comes with wisdom for him to recognize, oh, this has affected my relationship with the woman that I do want to build with. But at the end of the day, I do think if he was ready for that step and he wanted to take it, I do think a guy would take that step. Like moving in with each other, I don't think that's such a big deal. Okay, so do you think, what percentage of men do you think are actually intimidated by like a high achieving woman?
I think a lot, I feel like, and it is the power balance, and I do understand that. And I understand, like, men like to feel powerful and they like responsibility and they want to look after a woman. I think innately and by nature, I think men are like that and should want to be like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily.
Yeah.
But that's where the issue comes from, isn't it? And there's obviously all the stats and studies in America. It's like, what is it? Like women in America are like 2 times more likely to be degree educated than a man. And there's all of these now like issues in society because women generally, it is a generalization, but are excelling in what they're doing more than men. So that's where the problem is coming in, because men aren't rising up to be better than that. And they're actually, and that's where obviously incel culture and all of that has come from as well, is because instead of, So they see women doing better than them, and instead of trying to just level themselves up, it's then to bring the women back down.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, there's
Definitely want to hear what Kid has to say about this. Little Shorty seems very sharp, very sharp. Shout out to her, man. I definitely give her a Don DeMarco, not just because I think she's cute, but she's you know. I think she's doing a good job of articulating her points here. I think she's not tearing men down to build women up. I think she's looking at it from a realistic point of view. And ladies, you know, if there's any ladies out here watching, you know, this podcast right now, if you're out there ninja watching, make sure you click on Stay Slick with Kit, his YouTube channel. He has a community of women that he is coaching to help them get the kind of guys that they want or be successful in relationships, period. And I think a lot of that has to do with letting women know, like, hey, there just aren't enough, you know, handsome James Bond type millionaire guys out there for all you ladies to get. If you're trying to get on one of these dudes, you need to understand how men move. I believe that's what he's doing in his community. And just by listening to this conversation, the kid is really hitting on some good points. And this woman he's sitting across from, bro, she's not going to have any trouble getting the attention of men at all. She's going to be able to choose. And it sounds like, at least up until the boyfriend she was talking about, the boyfriend she broke up with, she was waiting for what, 4 or 6 years, something like that. Sounds like she's not in a hurry to run out here and get her back blown out. And these are the kind of women that I tell guys, I'm like, look, little shorty, she's keeping her skeletons in the closet, bro. She is doing her dirt by herself. You ain't gonna catch her doing whatever she's doing. So don't worry about it. We like, you know, well, how many bodies does she have? Doesn't sound like she has a lot of bodies. Don't worry about it. Because you'll never know how many bodies she has, bro. This woman has the means to travel. Right? She's doing well in London. She said, she goes on holiday. She has the means to go around, do whatever she wants to do. She can have rendezvous with men all over the world. You'll never know about her. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just sit back and see how see how it plays out. She doesn't seem like the type of person that will embarrass you. But again, we're only seeing one version of her. We're seeing her on camera sat across from a guy that she respects. So she's only going to act a certain way. You just never know how people act, man, especially ladies, when the Chardonnay starts flowing, bro. You just never know.
Definitely multiple things happening. So yes, you're right. Women under the age of 30 actually out-earn their male counterparts. Mm-hmm. Twice as many women go to university than men. So women are killing it. Mm-hmm. But the issue isn't that women are doing really well. Is that if you have a woman who is doing really well, she struggles to be with a man who isn't where she is. She struggles to date down.
Fake facts.
And if she does feel like she's quote unquote dating down, she feels like she's settling.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode,
I'm gonna have to go find the full episode of that one, guys. That's a conversation I want to watch from beginning to end. Yo, shout out to Kid. Appreciate you, bro. You're checking this out, man. Appreciate you. I see your growth, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep leading from the front, man. You're doing a damn thing, man. Proud of you. And you guys should definitely check him out. Check out Kit. Check out Michael Surtain, bro. What they're doing over there on Access Vegas, him and Rolo, what they're doing in Men of Action. Check them dudes out. Right? Check out Rich Cooper. Right? Rich Cooper is always talking about this sort of thing, man. It was one that Rich Cooper did. I'm gonna do that next time. I'll do that tomorrow. Next time we jump on Rich Cooper. Man, he attacks these issues as well. And at the end of the day, man, it boils down to you. Guys, I'm talking to the men out there. It boils down to you. We know what type of man women want. We know that women don't see most men. So if you have a woman that you're dealing with, consider yourself a part of the minority, because women do not see the majority of men, right? Pay attention to what's going on. Be mindful of any red flags. Anything that you don't like can be considered a red flag. Depends on what you're looking for, but be mindful of those things. Understand that they ain't going to change on their own. If they probably never going to change at all, right? Continue to work on your game. Continue to work on your understanding. Continue to be the best version of yourself. And you have a shot at finding the type of woman that you want. Remember, you choose who gets the long-term relationship. Women choose who get the smash. right? Women control sex. Men control relationships, right? So just keep that in mind, fellas. You got a lot of work to do. Don't worry about it. Women peak way before men do. So if you're 22, 23 years old out here and you heard that young girl at the very beginning of this podcast talking about men got to be 6'2", 6'3", got to have a six pack, making unlimited amounts of money. Man, that little girl's delusional, bro. Don't worry about her. It's going to take time for you to get to financially where you want to be. It just takes time. Women, they reach their peak quick because guys don't care about finance and, her letters behind her name and degrees and what her career is. Guys don't care about that. Guys just want a woman who is fit, friendly, right? They want a woman who is feminine. That's all they're really looking for. Women are looking for something completely different. So what it takes for a man to want a woman is really easy to have. And what it takes for a woman to want a man is really hard to get. It takes time to get it. So if you're 22 years old, don't worry about it, man. By the time you hit 32, 35, if you're doing the work, you know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing? That's when you'll hit. And bro, we talk about the floodgates opening, man. Oh my goodness. That's when you're going to start getting your stories. All right. But work on your game, work on your understanding. And that's it. I guess this episode was more for women than it would be for men, right? Ladies, you got to look at what y'all doing. Y'all might be demanding too much. You might be demanding too much. If you're a 9 or a 10 on that scale of 0 to 10, okay, demand whatever it is you want. But for everybody else, 8s all the way down to the 0s, y'all might have to rethink what y'all doing. Right? That's just my take on that. Appreciate y'all for coming out, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will definitely be back tomorrow. God willing and the creek don't rise. I'll be back tomorrow. And, we're going to talk about that high value man versus top tier man thing. I definitely want to drill down on that. The medium man has a video out there that I definitely want us to take a look at to really talk about what I mean by the differences between a top tier guy and a high value man versus a top tier dude. And hopefully it'll make sense. So tomorrow, if not tomorrow, definitely on Wednesday. I'm definitely going to try to get that in tomorrow. I got to go. My daughter wants breakfast for dinner tonight, so we're making pancakes and bacon. So y'all know what that is. I got to go get cooked for my daughter. All right, so that's it. That's all I got, man. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.